quite comprehensive. So you're part of the staff that provides the service to the children as well as to the families, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And what about you, Keith? What is your relationship to Head Start?
I'm a support service clerk, and I'm also a father. I have a child in the program. So like they just helping me with life skills and jobs and things that add up my resume and help out, and they like role models and positive people you could talk to get your life on track, which is a good thing because you always need somebody to talk to or whatever. But I got a child in the program, he going to Head Start, and it just works out fine because when I get off I can pick him up, and when I go I can drop him off. So it just works out to the best. So being a father and a support service clerk is my job title.
Well, I'm so glad that you are part of the program, and I'm quite certain that you will benefit not only today but in the future through the work of this program and the men that you're sitting in between. Brian, what is your relationship?
Well, I'm a family service specialist, like Mr. Jordan. Keith made me blush a little bit. But our charge right now is to build our fatherhood program and also work with the families of the Head Start program.
Well, that is fantastic. Fathers are very important in the development of their family as well as in the development of our community. That we need men to step up and be men, both whether they're in programs of this type or just being a good neighbor, just being a good brother. Just as I tell people, there's nothing that I can think of that's any more important than being a father. I've been blessed. I've had other titles, but the most important one, and I only have one child, and she's done well, and it's only through the grace of God and programs similar to yours. She wasn't part of this one, but there were other things that helped to shape her to be what she is. Can you, any of the three of you, maybe I'll start with you, Vance, explain the Head Start program. What ages are we talking about, and what kinds of services do you provide in terms of a Head Start?
Well, you're talking about children that are 3 and 4-year-olds,
okay,
and those that will turn 5 after September 1, that we serve those kids, trying to make them ready for kindergarten. That's the whole objective of Head Start, is to make sure that they're kindergarten ready. And so we're the teachers are instructing them to try to get them to the point where they are able to interact with adults, ask questions, and basically get a little bit more comfortable with asking for things and so on. Basically, we're dealing with their foundation and trying to give them a good, strong foundation to spring from.
Okay. In other words, we're trying to give them a head start.
Exactly.
And we're going to start with their head by trying to get that head in a position to learn and to reach their full potential, whatever that might be.
Yes.
Let me ask you, Ryan, where are you located? Are you located in various sites, or is it just one place where people go? Or
no,
explain?
We have quite a few sites. Webster and Pleasant Valley are our half-day sites.
Okay.
And then we also have, excuse me, I'm going to go through this in my mind. We have Harrison, which is a full-day site, which is at Harrison School, the new Harrison School. We have Glen Oak, which is at the new Glen Oak School. We have a couple of classrooms there. We also have Carver, the Urban League, missing a couple. Valeska, and Tree Wind. And that's
so
it.
you have quite a few sites.
Yes, sir.
And what's the difference between a half day and a whole day? What determines whether they're there a half a day or a whole day?
Well, when a family first comes in, we'll kind of figure out what their situation is right now.
Okay.
And usually with our parents that aren't working or aren't going to school, they'll attend our Webster site, which is the half day. We have 2 sessions, 8 to 12 and 12 to 4. And then with our full day sites, that's kind of reserved for our parents that are working or going to school, or a combination of both.
Okay.
Or, you know, if we have grandparents raising grandchildren or foster children.
Okay. So you have a multimodal program to basically meet the needs in terms of the parents and their involvement, whether it's working or whether they're in school or a combination of the two, help to support them.
Right.
About how many people participate in a Head Start program here in Peoria?
Well, our numbers are, our enrollment is 670.
670?
670 children.
Fantastic.
And that's with all of our sites and our satellite sites as well as our center.
Mm-hmm. When a person enrolls their child in a Head Start program, where do they have to live, or what are their qualifications in order to get involved in the program? Any of you?
Well, again, it has to be age appropriate.
Okay.
3 and 4 year olds and those that turn 5 after September 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has to be income based according to the poverty guideline. And if they meet those two criteria, then basically we'll serve them. Other thing is that we serve the county.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as transportation goes, for Webster site, if we're on the way that we're able to keep within the guidelines of having the children on the bus no more than an hour, is that we have to stay south of War Memorial Drive.
Mm-hmm. Well, Keith, you, from what I understand when you introduced yourself, you have a child that's involved in the program?
Yes, I do. I have a son. He's 3. He's at Carver.
Okay.
And I work at Webster. It's real good because when I leave out the door, he leaving too. So he goes to Carver, which is an all-day site. So I'm able to get in school in the morning now, and I've got to be at work by 10:45, 11ish to get on the bus. But it's good because in the morning time I'm able to take classes and, you know, not give up or still fight and show that I'm still trying, and my son is not an excuse, you know, which I understand, and I like that because, you know, sometimes you need somebody to depend on.
Right.
So, and with this Head Start thing is real good because my son, he also learning and getting ready for school while I'm trying to better myself for our income and our living.
Okay. So in a sense, it's giving both of you a head start.
A head start.
And that's the great thing about Head Start, like Keith was saying, modeling good behavior. I mean, his young man gets to see him walk out the door, so that's a positive aspect. He's going to a positive place where he's learning, he's getting healthy food, he's interacting with children his own age, he's interacting with appropriate adults, so it's a win-win situation for the whole family.
Well, it certainly sounds like it, and again, based upon the earlier segment in terms of all of the assessments that are done to children, from medical needs to psychological needs to family needs to whatever, it's quite comprehensive, and I would assume that your program is just like the early Head Start. It basically doesn't cost anything, and it is not to be confused with a daycare center,
right.
where all you're doing is just watching kids or babysitting kids or that type of a thing.
Right, we are interested in, again, the child's development. We try to make sure that we take care of the child, his health issues as they arise, his dental, his physical, make sure that the parents are keeping in line with taking care of having those dentals done, having the physical done, doing the vision, doing the hearing. And so, again, we're back to that word comprehensive. We're trying to take care of the whole child and the whole family and the needs of that child.
I've often heard the word father initiatives, where you're trying to really include and involve and engage the fathers. Are there any kind of special activities that you do with the fathers in the program to enhance not only their development but their involvement with the kids?
We have quite a few activities that are, like we were talking about earlier, positive activities for both father and child, but the curriculum that we use is building blocks for father involvement, and we just want to not only show families how important fathers are to the family, but we need to sometimes show fathers how important they are. You know, with studies have been done that a father in the household, the children are less likely to, you know, get in trouble. Teen pregnancy is lower. You don't have to worry about, I'm not going to say you don't have to worry about, but it's less likely your child will be involved in criminal activity just because they have that male role model to model those types of behaviors. But throughout the year, we host, like we take our fathers to the Bulls game.
Okay.
Literacy-wise, we take the dads out to Barnes & Noble. We have a guest speaker come out. They select books, read them to their children, and then Head Start or PCCEO pays for the books. So overall, it's a great program for fathers to be involved in. We also do 2 fatherhood meetings a month where we get together, we sit around and we talk about, what's not only going on at Head Start, but what's going on in the community.
Great.
We talk about any problems that the dads may have. We have speakers come in and talk, speakers from the church, speakers from community leaders. We have lawyers come in and tell fathers what their rights are, because a lot of fathers, they think once they sign that birth certificate that's it. But we want to show them that there's more to being a father. There's also being a dad, and that means spending time with your child, not only taking care of them financially, but taking care of them with your time, your effort, and your energy.
Well, I know I've often said on this program that I guess any male can be a daddy, but it takes a real man to be a father.
Right, right.
And you can become a daddy with your eyes closed having sex.
Right.
But being a father requires you to have your eyes open for much longer than it did to have that sex.
Right. And your mind open as well.
And your mind open. In fact, it reminds me of an acronym I have, what a real macho man, M-A-C-H-O-M-A-N, is make a child happy often. M-A-C-H-O, make a child happy often by mentoring and nurturing, M-A-N, mentoring and nurturing. That's what a real macho man is.
And we, I don't want to come across as, with this fatherhood program, we're anti-women,
Right.
because we understand how important it is to have both parents
Absolutely.
involved. And that's why this year we're kind of trying something new. Not only are we going to have the fatherhood program, but we're also going to have the family program. So, we're going to have fathers come in, moms come in, and then that last half hour, they're going to come in together, and we're going to talk about issues that kind of affect families that we serve. And then on the overall picture, we also belong to the Fatherhood Action Coalition, which is a group of agencies that come together, agencies, community leaders, and we try to figure out the best way to serve the population that we're trying to reach. We meet once a month, and we're trying to get into the schools, we're trying to get into places that we want the fathers to have experiences they normally don't have just every single day.
Well, it's only been maybe a month or two ago I had General John Parker, which you fellas are probably familiar with, and he came on with a couple of other fellas with an initiative that he's involved in seeing to it that fathers are treated equal as parents, so that they have access to the kids and can be involved in the children's lives. I know that a lot of times the fathers get a bad rap that they're never there and whatever, but there are a lot of fathers who want to be there, but because of either the judgment of a court or some of the old rules in terms of the mother has total control, and maybe you might have visitation, to ensure that those fathers who want to be involved can be involved, and would probably be of some value for, if you're not already doing that, to kind of collaborate to see to it that the fathers that are in his program that are trying to increase their visitation and so forth have access to the kinds of things that you're doing with fathers, or some of the fathers you're working with Head Start can become aware of some of the legal things that they can become involved in to increase their participation in the family, or particularly with the child. Well, I'm very encouraged that the three of you men are involved, and that I want to congratulate all the other fathers who are involved with the Head Start program, and both in terms of the parent of the child as well as like you, Keith, that are working in the program to increase your ability to even be a better father.